Your heart is heavy, happiness unknown. Sometimes you need someone to make you think that better things will come. I may not always be there every day, but I'll try to be the one who helps you feel okay. I'll try. I'll Do you want to be more? But emptiness can make you feel unsure. So come with me and soar. I'll make you feel like you've not felt before. I may not always help in every way, but I'll try to be the one who makes things less mundane. I'll try. I'll try.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Showdown breakdown video live stream. We're going to be going over settings on Fantasy Cruncher and overall strategy and how to approach every Showdown NFL slate the right way. All right. We're going to break through, like I said, all the settings. Feel free to ask any questions if you feel lost. This is specifically for Fantasy Cruncher and Draftkings, okay? But if you don't have either one of those tools, or if you don't have the tools for FC, sit tight. We'll still talk some strategy and how to take down these slates, okay? Because they can get confusing. Showdowns are completely different from the NFL main slates in terms of stacking and just overall settings. So your mindset has to be contrarian. We have to show you where to get contrarian on some of these plays. Now, we aren't going to be talking about individual players. We already put out a video for that. Obviously, Patreon covers all that. $20 a month will get you all the Showdown slates for NFL. It will get you the main slates and all the CSGO. Anything going on DFS-wise during the regular season. Again, we'll have all of our favorite leverage spots content for everything. So if you want to jump on board, $20 a month gets you that, and you get to talk to me all day, every day, and some of our other analysts to help you build some lineups. So this will not be specifically for the actual players, okay? We're going to be going over the settings and how to increase upside here. All right. What's going on, Steven? No problem. Yeah, this video will be up, okay? I'll leave it up. I won't take it off for anybody who can't make it to the live stream, okay? Just so you guys can go back, rewatch it. Obviously, get your notepad out and start crunching some numbers, all right? All right, so also this is a completely free video. This is open to the public. Again, we aren't covering any Patreon-specific content, so we're covering the individual settings for Fantasy Cruncher, how to increase your upside. And again, I want to make this available to the entire public because I want to help everybody. So if you don't want if you're under the impression that this was a Patreon private stream, I do apologize. Again, you already have some of my favorite leverage spots. We're still awaiting the San Francisco wide receiver picture, so we will have better leverage spots and more updated content a little bit later on. Wait for me to finalize that cheat sheet. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get started, guys. How's everybody doing? It is literally 70 degrees out today. It was 40 degrees yesterday. It's unbelievable here in Pennsylvania. But it's a beautiful day, so hopefully everybody's enjoying their night. What's going on? Garage Junkie Productions. What's going on, man? All right. I want to start out by talking about upside, okay? Because there's upside in NFL main slates. there's upside and showdowns, and they look pretty similar in terms of actual stacking. Okay, you always want to pair a quarterback with a wide receiver. In NFL main slates, that's obvious. We've talked about this many slates, okay? But for showdowns, you want to do the same thing. You don't want to get carried away with it. Like, you don't want to stack just all wide receivers, come back with the quarterback. You want to make sure you have at least one wide receiver QB stack, okay? Let's go back to the Atlanta-Carolina slate, which was a week or two ago. The optimal, I actually had the optimal. I actually played it in the mini-max, took down the $1,500. And I posted that in my other video. But it was literally a QB stack of Teddy Bridgewater and Samuels in the captain spot, and then 4 Atlanta players. Because I was able to capitalize on that QB wide receiver combo with having Samuels and the wide receiver captain spot, I was able to capitalize on that upside, okay? If I included him any other place in the lineup, I would not have taken down the GPP. And yes, I threw 150 bullets in there, but they were all structured the very same way as that, okay? We're going to make sure we have all the settings correct so that we increase our upside in every single one of these lineups, okay? Let's take a look here at the optimal. This was Monday night football, yeah. We had a kicker in the captain spot. By the way, that was the first time in, I believe, a year and a half that had happened. So if you play the kicker in the captain spot, again, looking down the lineup, we have Tom Brady paired with Mike Evans, and then we have Daniel Jones paired with Sterling Shepard. Okay? Also, I just want to reiterate, guys, we are not talking specific plays on this live stream. We're talking about how to increase upside in terms of strategy. Okay? So if you want to stay along for that, feel free to stay. All right, so I want to talk about this lineup that we're looking in front of us right here. Even though the kicker was in the captain spot, it allowed you to stack some of these studs. And when I talk about studs, I'm talking about Daniel Jones, Mike Evans, and Tom Brady, okay? It allowed you to get those into your lineup and also pair them with a wide receiver and QB, okay? So as you can see, Daniel Jones, Sterling Shepard made into the optimal, so did Tom Brady, Mike Evans, okay? So let's talk about how to make this happen in every single one of our lineups on Fantasy Cruncher. All right, yeah, it's all about correlation. Exactly. So let's go ahead and jump right into this showdown slate, the current showdown slate, which is tonight, San Francisco versus Green Bay. We have our player pool here. Yeah, it's very ugly. We don't really know what wide receivers are actually going to play for San Francisco as of yet. Right now, I excluded everybody from the player pool that I thought would not play. All right. So one way you can do this, okay? Again, this is available for most pro members. You go over to the Groups tab here, and there's this little tab called Auto Group Creator. It's under the Pro settings, okay? This is my go-to. This makes things so much easier, but I will show you for the light players, the people who only have the light package. You go to create a new group, and we want to make sure we're pairing a wide receiver at the captain spot and then a QB from that same team in every single one of our groups, okay? We're going to do this the slow way at first, and I'll show you how to do it with the Auto Group Creator here. So let's say, for instance, we have a wide receiver playing tonight. Let's scroll down here. Trent Taylor, okay? Let's go ahead and make Trent Taylor captain. We're going to make him a key player. We're putting him as a key player so that whenever Trent Taylor is a captain, he is also paired with Mullins. We can put Mullins right in here, and that is my first group. Okay, pretty simple, right? So that whenever Trent Taylor gets put into a lineup, this group is now applied so that Nick Mullins is automatically paired with Trent Taylor. Okay, we'll create a new group. Okay, exact same process. So let's just hypothetically say we have Dwelly here. Okay, we're going to add him into the captain spot, and then we're going to add, that's not a captain. Let me get rid of him. We're looking for the captain, Ross Dwelly. And then we are coming back with Nick Mullins. All right. And he is the key player. All right. So now we have two groups. If Trent Taylor is the captain and he scores a touchdown, he is also going to be impacted in the same group with Nick Mullins, who also scores. So that we have these two people in the captain spot. Whenever they score a touchdown, they will receive a touchdown from the quarterback. Okay. So you're getting a double whammy here when these players score touchdowns. You have to keep in mind, let's just back up here, that a lot of players that are playing are not implementing this strategy. So they're throwing together 150 lineups and they don't even have groups built. You already got an edge right there. If a wide receiver scores a touchdown, the QB and wide receiver automatically score. All right? So that's how it works, okay? Those are the groups that you have to set. And yes, this is the slow way. You have to go through all the wide receivers. You have to make them a captain and then pair them with a QB, okay? But let me show you something real quick here. With this new auto group creator, shout out to Fantasy Cruncher and the crew for doing this because this is amazing. It made life so much easier. Let's go ahead and do the exact same concept that we were just talking about, wide receiver and tight end. Let's assume the captain here is going to score over. Let's make it to 1 point, and we want to make sure we pair a QB with every one of these captains. Okay. What we're gonna do? Let me make sure I'm setting these right. Captain above 1 projected fantasy points. Players include here a QB, and we're gonna auto create groups. Now, if you look here, I just made a group for every single player that it's a captain, also pairing him with a QB. Yes, some of these groups don't make sense. So if you look here at the top, Nick Mullins a captain. Can't pair him with Nick Mullins. It makes 0 sense. So we're going to delete that group. You have to go back, and you kind of have to get rid of some of these groups, because, again, we're just looking for the wide receivers here. All right, so Hasty's a running back. Dwelly, there we go. That makes sense. Dwelly at captain. Nick Mullins. Robbie Gould's a kicker. All right. Hughes check, obviously a running back. And now we got Trent Taylor, captain, paired with Nick Mullins. And then Richie James, also a wide receiver. So now we have 3 groups already made. And I believe I only have San Francisco selected. So let's do this for Green Bay now. All right. So let's redo this. And now we will have Green Bay included. Devontae Adams is automatically paired with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is paired with Aaron Rodgers. We get rid of that group. That doesn't make sense. Nick Mullins is paired with Nick Mullins. That doesn't make sense. Jerick McKinnon. Now this is kind of up in the. This is kind of up for question. Jerick McKinnon obviously isn't out of the backfield running back. You can pair him with Nick Mullins. I'll go ahead and do that. Lazard paired with Aaron Rodgers at the captain spot. Yes. Hasty. No. He's a typical running back. We're not gonna correlate those two. Lazard already talked about. Tanyan, yes, pair with Aaron Rodgers. Packers, no. Dwelly paired with Nick Mullins, yes. Crosby, no. Oops. 49ers, no. Robbie Gould, no. Scantling paired with Aaron Rodgers. Sternberger paired with them, no. Juszczyk, no. Trent Taylor, no. Richie James, yes. Tyler Ervin, no. Running back. And then Dexter Williams, no. All right. So, as you can see here, sorry, let me just stop on the question. FC with the group generator made my life easier. Every NFL slate and show. Yes, absolutely. It is fantastic. It is a saving grace for Fantasy Cruncher. They took it to the next level here with this update. But as you guys can see now, I have a wide receiver in the captain spot paired with a QB in every single group. Absolutely amazing, okay? But now I want to do the same thing. Let's hypothetically say Aaron Rodgers goes absolutely ballistic. He gets a rushing touchdown. He ends up becoming the optimal captain. We still want to make sure we're pairing him with a wide receiver, because when Aaron Rodgers scores most of the time, so do his wide receivers. So now we're going to do this exact same thing, do an auto group creator, except now we're going to include wide receivers and tight ends, and now we're going to do a captain, auto create these groups, and now we're just going to get rid of all the groups except for the ones that have Aaron Rodgers at captain and Nick Mullins at captain, okay? Because now, as you can see, they have a wide receiver or tight end with all of these players, or with all the captain, or sorry, with Aaron Rodgers at captain. All right? So we have Aaron Rodgers, Nick Mullins at captain, and now we're going to get rid of all these other groups that don't make sense. Boom, 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 boom. Again, it makes it so much easier just to auto-populate all these things. So now let's take a look at all the groups here. Aaron Rodgers, Nick Mullins, captain, paired with all these wide receivers. So whenever Aaron Rodgers is a captain, it now has to select at least one player from this group to include in your lineup. Okay, so now you're capitalizing on the upside between those two connections. And then with these groups below, now we have a captain, a wide receiver, or a tight end in the captain spot paired with a wide receiver. Make sense? So if we keep going down, you'll see that all these groups are made for the wide receiver QB connection. So now we have all those groups. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. But now, if you guys remember back to the last optimal where the kicker made the captain spot but still had wide receiver QB connections, we want to make sure we're just pairing those two in groups, okay? So now we're going to make the key captain just a regular QB or a regular wide receiver paired with a QB. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'll show you how to do that. Go to auto group creator. Now instead of captain, we're going to pair QB over 1 with a wide receiver tight end, at least 1 from the same team. And we are going to auto create. And it should have worked. Yep, Nick Mullins, Aaron Rodgers. So whenever they are selected, we're now pairing a wide receiver or a tight end. All right. And all those groups are set up. So now let's go back to make some lineups. I'm going to set this to 2,000. I think that's my that's usually my benchmark randomness. And let's just crunch out 500 lineups and see what we can come out with, okay? And I will show you guys in every single lineup we have a QB or wide receiver pair, either in the captain spot or not. You will have a wide receiver pair with a QB, which is increasing your upside in virtually every single lineup, okay? Increases your upside. You have to keep in mind, so many people that are 150 maxing are not doing this. So you already have an automatic edge against the field. It's absolutely amazing. All right, I've taken down 2 of these Showdown slates in the past 2 weeks, so it's been absolutely amazing. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look. I'm just going to show you guys. Hasty, obviously, not a running back, so he's not going to be paired with a QB. But if you look here, Nick Mullins, a captain, is paired with Dwelly. Trent Taylor, paired with Nick Mullins. Keep going down here. Devontae Adams, paired with Aaron Rodgers. Look, in every single lineup, we have... Oh, there's actually no QB in that one. Nick Mullins paired with Trent Taylor. In every single lineup. Aaron Rodgers paired with Tanyan and Scantling. We have, keep going. Aaron Rodgers paired with Devontae Adams. Look, in every single lineup, you have a wide receiver QB combo. Nick Mullins paired with Richie James, Trent Taylor. Nick Mullins paired with Trent Taylor. You guys get the point, okay? So that whenever a touchdown is scored with a wide receiver or QB, every single one of your lineups that have that combo are impacted double. Okay, they're both benefiting from that touchdown. Okay, and yes, this theory does also work for 20 max. Okay, now I want to talk about throwing in some of these lineups now. Okay, let's talk about how they get contrarian on slates like Showdowns. Okay. I just crunched out 500 lineups, but I'm only entering 150 of these things, right? I wouldn't just crunch 150 lineups to get 150 lineups to put into the 150 max, okay? What I typically do is I unselect every single lineup, and what I'll do here is I'll go to the team stacks, and I'll look at the combos, okay? All right, well, I'll go to the stacks, and I'll see which percentage of these stacks are very contrarian, basically the ones that are not used are used the least, okay? Because you always want to put contrarian lineups into those 150 maxes. Obviously, the more unique you get, the better chance you have to take down lineups. Like, obviously, Green Bay is going to be a heavy stack. They're going to be the most popular stack tonight. But what's the off chance that San Francisco keeps up? It even keeps it close. A 3-3 stack. I mean, how many people actually have a 3-3 stack, or even a 4-2 San Francisco with a 2 stack of Green Bay? Not too many people out there. So you have to get contrarian with your builds. So even though I am entering 150 max, I'm still crunching 500 lineups, and I'm picking from my lineups that I want to enter into 150 max. Okay, it does take time, but that's a process that you have to follow to maximize your upside, to maximize your uniqueness. If you're going to take down a contest of 59,000 people, obviously don't just crunch 150 lineups and then run away with it. Okay, that's not how it's done. So let's say, for instance, look, 5-player stacks. There's 3% of my lineups that have a 5-player stack of San Francisco. Like, this lineup right here is very contrarian. I'm going to be throwing in that into the 150 max. I'm going to be throwing this guy in here. You know, these aren't the exact lineups I'm going to be entering because we don't actually know who's going to be playing for the wide receiver picture for San Francisco. But you guys get the point, okay? these are the type of lineups I'm entering into the 150 max, not your most high owned plays. Like if I look at my stacks here, it looks like a 3-player stack of Green Bay is going to be the most chalky. Okay, a 3-3 stack. Like I'm probably not going to select too many lineups from here. Or another thing I'll do is I'll go to the player tab here, and I'll look for contrarian builds in the captain spot. Like which captain is least likely to make any of these lineups? Sternberger? Imagine if he scored a touchdown. I'm the only one that has Sternberger. It looks like he's in literally less than 1% of my lineups. I thought I selected him. So, like, some of these lineups would go into my 150 max, okay? You're looking to get contrarian with all of your builds, no matter what. 150 max, 20 max, 3 max, 1 max. It also depends on the size of the contest, okay? But yeah, that's my process. That's what I do, guys. I know that's short and sweet, but that is it. So if you look back at these groups, first off, does anybody have any questions on the group tab? Like any of the wide receiver QB stacks that I forced? Because that's the most important thing. As soon as you get those groups, as soon as you have those pairings of the QB wide receiver, you're now increasing your upside in virtually every single lineup, which is what you need to do to win GPPs. All right, so let me start from the bottom here and get to some of these questions. In 20 max, I use 2 captains. In 20 max, I use 2 different captains. I would recommend actually getting more captain exposure, just because you really don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if a kicker captain is going to make the optimal. All right, how do I sign up with you? So on our Patreon tool, you go to www.patreon.com/dgfantasy. If you head over to our website at dailygrindfantasy.com, there's a link to our Patreon if you want to go there. Lots of links in our other video, but again, all of that is available on Patreon. Patreon.com/dgfantasy is how you sign up. All right. I love 20 max, but normally what stand would you take in terms of captain? How many? For 20 max, man, that's tough. I'd probably at least include 4 to 5 different captains. Again, make sure you're contrarian with those captains. We know Aaron Rodgers is going to be your typical captain build tonight, especially with all the salary saving that you can get with these wide receivers from San Francisco. So much money is going to be left on the table with all of these builds, okay? So keep that in mind, okay? If Aaron Rodgers is going to be the most chalky, why not put Scantling at captain? Or why not put Sternberger, like we just talked about, or even Tanyan? Like, you can capitalize on the upside there if those guys score. All right. The website is here in the bottom of my video, www.dailygrindfantasy.com. You head over to the Patreon link. Is Jordan Reed in that player pool? As of right now, I believe he is. We still don't know what he's going to be looking like. $5,800. If he doesn't play, Dwelly, I believe, is $1,000. There's so much chalk on this slate, guys. So much chalk. All right, let's go up here. Manual entry was awful. I completely agree. Yeah, wide receiver or running back at captain on most slates. Yeah, that's usually the optimal there. Thank you, Anthony, for the shout out and the donation. Thank you for the content. Like always, love the info. Thank you so much, Anthony Rose. Really appreciate that, man. It goes so much further than you actually know. It really, really does. Appreciate that. Any advice for single entry? So single entry, again, you're looking to get contrarian depending on contest size, which I have plenty of videos out there. You have to look at the size of the contest, how contrarian you're trying to get. Like, obviously, I just got done saying Aaron Rodgers is going to be the captain play, the most chalk captain. Get away from it. If you're trying to differentiate yourself, get different and stacking a 4-2. Maybe San Francisco does better, okay? Then Green Bay tonight. Get contrarian in your builds, okay? Trent Taylor, question mark. Yes, he is a good play. Any updates on your end for Jones? No, and I believe we won't hear any updates until about 6 o'clock tonight. Can you use FC projections? Absolutely. So when I was crunching, I believe I used the FC projections. Though I used my projections. I changed them slightly. But yeah, you can use the FC projections. It really depends on your randomness. Like, I put my randomness to 2,000. I usually use that just to see how many different builds I can get, how contrarian I can get. I do this for every sport. I do this for CSGO. I do this for NFL, for NBA. You want to see how contrarian you can get with your builds specifically. As you can see, if I go back to my stacks here, team stacks, combos. It looks like the most underused stacks were San Francisco 4, Green Bay 2, and I just got done talking about 3% of my lineups when I crunched ended up being 5-man stacks from San Francisco. So nobody will have a 5-man stack of San Francisco. Imagine if San Francisco comes out and wins. Who knows? Aaron Rodgers could get injured. They could just come out and stink. You never know. It's a primetime game. So be part of that 3%, okay? Is Reed playing? Great video. Thank you so much. Don't know if Reed is playing. I got asked that already. Do you cap your cumulative ownership, or do you have a range? Do you cap your... No. I don't really know what you're... Oh, are you saying like the combined ownership on a lineup? No, I just let it kind of flow. It's more about, for Showdown specifically, it's more about the combination. It's not really too much about the ownership. Like, we know Nick Mullins and Aaron Rodgers are going to be very, very high owned. We know that. But again, it's all about the combos. Like, is anybody going to have Tyler Irvin and a captain? Here, let me find some good lineups. I'll show you guys some good lineups here. So if we sort by salary going to the top here, let me just go all the way to the top. All right. Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, Tanyan. All right, here's a $49,800 lineup. Tanyan at captain. Coming back with Taylor, Hasty, Mullins. By the way, there's that QB wide receiver stack. And then Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, by the way, another QB wide receiver stack with tight end. Boom. So much upside in that lineup. $49,800, but who's going to have that lineup? Nobody's going to be playing Robert Tanyan tonight at captain. Just imagine. Imagine if he gets a touchdown or two. Like, it could easily change the slate. So just look at your builds, okay? And I don't know why I'm swinging around this pen. I don't know what this is all about. I don't know, guys. $49,800 lineup is very, very contrarian. Even though it maxed out the salary, it's still getting contrarian within your build. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, and Nick Mullins are all going to be high-owned, but is Robert Tanyan going to be high-owned at captain? Absolutely not. So if we keep scrolling down, I can show you some more lineups where you're getting contrarian. Crosby, here's another kicker at captain, but a lot of these builds are not going to have Crosby at captain. All the ones maxed out to $49,000, $9,000, $50,000, like, they're not going to have Mason Crosby at captain. All right. Here's one with Dexter Williams. Who's going to have Dexter Williams tonight? Not too many people. That's the mindset you have to have, guys. That's all you have to do. And all these 150 maxes, make sure you're increasing your upside with every single build, and then also getting contrarian with your builds. And you will take down GPPs, I promise. I took down a 59,000 person GPP 2 weeks ago. It was, and I mean, it's just a simple process. All you're doing is making sure you have upside with all your groups. That's all you're doing. All right. Is Fantasy Cruncher free? Unfortunately not, but the light version, which allows you to crunch 20 lineups per build, I believe it's $20 to $30 a month. I haven't checked in a while. I have to double check on that, but it is not free. Okay. Do you ever do any live crunches with CSGO? That's my baby. Absolutely. I go over my strategy and the CSGO Discord chat that we have connected with Patreon. So if you want to know like what my builds are looking like, what the strategy's looking like, and also my favorite leverage spots, CSGO is low-key one of my best sports to date. And I don't even know how that even happened, but it is one of my better sports now just because there's such an edge with lineup construction. And there are CSGO slates tomorrow morning, which I will be covering. All right. How many unique players do you use? So I actually didn't crunch any with unique players. That doesn't really matter if you're using 2,000% randomness. It really just depends on your preference. Like, I would use 2 and maybe turn this down to 200. That would be a good setting. Again, you're looking at the individual builds. You're looking to see how many different builds you can get. I crunched 500 lineups regardless, okay? So if I use those settings, let's see what they're looking like. They might be closer to $50,000. Yeah. They will be, because Aaron Rodgers is showing up in 63% of my lineups, whereas he was showing up in 44 when I was using 2,000 randomness, I believe. So if I go back, no, he was in. I think I just froze my computer. Look what you did, Kyle. Look what you did. I'm blaming you. Hold on, if I click stop, hopefully it unfreezes. All right, yeah, 57% in that build, And then here, when I turned it up to 2,000, yeah, 45%. So yeah, it really depends. All right. Any more questions? I love the questions that are coming in. These are actually all very, very good questions. But yeah, so let's just take a look. I want to take a look at some of these optimals because I want to prove to you guys, okay? The Showdown optimals always have a wide receiver QB combo. They literally always do. I just want to keep showing you guys because I'm excited about it, okay? Dallas, Philly. I've never seen that before. Actual lineup. Let's crunch it. Look. Fulgham, Wentz. Boom. Right there. That was the optimal. Okay? And it looks like Gallup made it into the lineup without a QB. But again, if you're looking just in the captain spot, Wentz and Fulgham. Let's keep going back to some of these other games. What is this? What is that? I'm too lazy to read it. Never seen that. All right, look, Justin Herbert paired with Mike Williams. Boom, another wide receiver QB combo. It's crazy. I can keep showing this to you every single time. That is the edge. Force it in every single one of your lineups. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Let's see what it's looking like. Snead, Lamar Jackson. Boom. Eric Ebron. Ben. Boom. Right there. Thank you, Cody Stout, for the subscription. Really do appreciate that, man. I'm trying to learn how to find leverage on FC. On FC specifically. Okay, so here's how you do it. I just showed you. We'll look at this slate specifically. This Showdown slate tonight. So like I said, here's the edge. You look through your builds. I don't know why I got rid of my other. Let's go ahead and build again. Let's do that. Let's build 500 laps. Let's just wait for it, and we can talk about this. Is both QBs and 2 correlation wide receivers chalky? Totally depends on the slate. Tonight I can almost guarantee you more than half the field will have both QBs in their lineup. And with that, Davante Adams is definitely going to be paired with Aaron Rodgers. I'd say the less chalkier lineups are going to come from a Mullins and wide receiver stack from San Francisco. Keep in mind, the majority of DK and Draftkings, any players in general, are going to be trying to get Green Bay players in there. They're going to be trying to maximize their salary to $50,000. Don't be that kind of guy tonight, okay? Especially if you're playing the 150 max, because the edge is leaving a lot of salary on the table. A lot of these guys are stepping up into a bigger role, and they're very, very cheap on Draftkings. Leave money on the table. I promise you, it will take you far in GPPs, okay? That is the edge, first of all. That is the edge for tonight specifically. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. Like I said, the edge. If we're looking to find an edge, we just crunched all of our lineups using FC settings, FC groups, okay? The edge is finding contrarian stacks. Nobody's going to have San Francisco 5-man stacks, okay? I'm not saying this is smart, but I'm saying that nobody will have this. Imagine if they win. Look at this, $47,000. Nobody's going to have this lineup, okay? Nobody's going to have, ooh, there's a maxed out one, $49,800. Nobody's going to have this lineup, okay? Throw these in your 150 max. Boom. 3 lineups right there that are very contrarian. If it plays out in your favor, if Green Bay just goes out, stinks it up, guess what? You're looking at a takedown. What's another low-owned stack here? So a 4-person stack of San Francisco, 13% of my lineups came out to be that. Let's go ahead and look through these. Ouchies, thank you so much for the subscription, man. Really appreciate that. All right. So look at this, another lineup, a 4-2 stack. Nobody's going to have this, but it still has Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, a very chalky stack there. So this is how you find the edge, guys. Just go through these lineups. Look, another lineup, $49,200. Nobody's going to have this lineup. Nobody. Just keep going through your lineups and doing that. Another thing I like to do, and I'll talk about this one more time, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Ask any questions. Feel free to ask through, and I will get to them. Look at the captain spots, okay? Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is going to be one of the more chalkier captains tonight. Same thing with Nick Mullins. Keep going down the line. Davante Adams is going to be very chalky. Hasty, okay? But if you keep scrolling down here, nobody's going to have Sternberger. Nobody's going to have St. Brown. Nobody's going to have Kyle Juszczyk. Nobody's going to have Dwelly at captain. Scantling. Imagine if one of these guys has a ceiling game, you're looking at a takedown just by simply selecting these lineups, okay? So if I go to these Scantling builds, Boom. Very contrarian build. Nobody's going to have this. Okay, even though it's a 4-2, obviously a lot of people are going to have a 4-2 Green Bay Packers San Francisco stack. How many of them are going to have a Scantling captain? Not too many. Okay? Another good one right here. Scantling. Pretty much all of these, to be honest. But yeah, that's what I do. That is my process, and I hope this video did help, guys. If it did, please do hit that subscription button, and I appreciate all the support. Also, if you want to sign up for my favorite leverage spots for every single slate, Showdowns, NFL, CSGO, NBA when it starts back up in December, which is in a little bit over a month now, okay? Grab all that on Patreon. It helps me out. I do this full time. $20, that's all you guys need. Plus, you get into a premium Discord chat where you get to talk to us all day, every day. If you guys want to do that, feel free to sign up today. I will go ahead and get off. Last but not least, I'll ask. I'll get to some of these questions you guys asked. Who's on the leverage? Leverage. It's needed. Who you low on leverage? Who will be the worst leverage tonight? Will probably be any one of these Green Bay Packers wide receivers. At least Devontae Adams. Like, imagine if Devontae Adams just goes out and has a floor game. It's going to screw up so many different lineups. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he was 70 to 80% owned tonight. Imagine if he didn't make the optimal. It would be insane. All right. I won 350 since I started using FC and getting on DK. Congrats, man. Yeah, FC makes a difference. It makes your builds so much easier. It makes everything so much easier. You can get through your QB wide receiver stacks so much easier without having to hand build. I can guarantee you nobody's hand building $1 million lineup. That's just not possible. It really is tough. I mean, you have to get so contrarian. Nobody's even looking at some of the players that are making the optimal. It's almost required at this point. All right, guys. I will go ahead and sign off. Again, if you guys want to pop into the Discord, ask any more questions, feel free to do so. With all that being said, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be posting up some more content. Look out for our final look video for the NFL main slate. Look out for our MMA video. That will all be out. I'll be working with Kevin tonight. So, like I said, with all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.